Shadows crawl beneath the midnight sky. Steel and fire forts where demons lie. A distant whistle haunts the air, calling all souls who dare to stare. Hear the pounding heartbeat roar. No turning back, the engine tore. Through cursed rails of black and bone, you're not alone. Run for your life, the hellbound train, racing through the night in thunder and pain. Flames lick the steel, the spirits wail on the night ride of the hellbound train. Station signs in cracked decay. The lost and damned have come to stay. Echoed footsteps ring in hollow halls. No mercy when the terror calls. No light to guide, no hope to find. A fate undone, a fractured mind. The whistle screams, your fate is sealed. No shield, no shield. Run for your life, the hellbound train, racing through the night in thunder and pain. Flames lick the steel, the spirits wail on the night ride of the hellbound Galloping riffs like wheels of steel. Screaming leads, terror revealed. Whistles cry into the night. Rails ignite in hellish light. Run for your life, the hellbound train, racing through the night in thunder and pain. Hear the lost soul screaming again on the night ride of the hellbound train. The engine fades beyond the flame. Only echoes remain the same. If you hear the whistle at night, pray you're not the next in line.
Man, if anything is going to put you in a bad mood, it is 3 hours of a terrible SmackDown. Oh my God, man. I don't know how anybody can fake their reactions to this show, man. Holy shit. Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, SmackDown. I should have joined the cool kids and watched it earlier via my Express VPN thanks to the Solid Monster. I'm not too cool for school today, man. I watched it normal time, and I very much wanted to be in bed by 10 o'clock. You know, we got a Royal Rumble tomorrow. Does it feel like a Royal Rumble? I mean, I can't tell, being that WWE treated tonight's show like a fucking preseason game. It's like they sent out all the bums out there to fucking get their scrimmages in before the main event tomorrow. Anyway, we're going to go over what WWE calls the final hype, the final build for the Royal Rumble tomorrow, which they desperately need to hit a home run with. Knowing this creative, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue inside my mother's basement. It's 6 degrees in New York City. Get me out! I may have to trade in my old-fashioned for a hot tea tonight, like a, you know what? What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for January 30th, 2026. I'm your host, JD, from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this very cold Friday evening, wherever you may be. My PC says 12. My iPhone says 6. I don't know which one it is. Either way, it sounds terrible. It's fucking cold outside, man. I was outside for literally 2 minutes taking out the trash, and my hands were as if I was about to get frostbite. That's how cold it is. I don't know what's going on, where it's coming from. I'm going to need you to stop. I'm going to need someone to turn the switch off and just, you know what, I've had enough. I'm throwing in the fucking white towel, bro. I'm done. I don't want no more of this winter. And then when the summertime comes, I'll complain about the extreme heat and why it's 103 degrees. It's what we do here. What we also do here is give you the cold hard facts about how pro wrestling is just downright miserable, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We do not discriminate here. Tonight is Friday, and tonight was the go-home show for SmackDown. I should have watched it with the cool kids. I got out of bed at 11:30 and didn't realize that I could watch it via the VPN on Netflix at 12 o'clock. And I said, you know what? I'm not. Bro, I haven't even had my espresso in the morning, man. I cannot digest WWE as soon as my eyes open. I can't do it. Well, maybe you should go to bed early, JD, instead of playing Arc Raiders all night. Yeah, I know. Thank you, geek. In the back of the venue. Thank you. I'm on my quest for $5 million in the game. Do you mind? All joking aside, SmackDown, man, it felt like 6 hours. It's 3 hours, and it felt like 6. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. If you're looking for any sort of Royal Rumble build, any sort of dilemma or drama or tension going into the Royal Rumble, there was none to be had on this show. We got more of it last week on Saturday night's main event. Who needed Friday night? It's like they were contracted to do a show at 3 hours in the new Riyadh, what do they call it? Riyadh Season Stadium? Man, really, they really came together and thought about that one for many, many weeks, huh? Had 4 weeks to build this fucking place. Welcome to Riyadh Season Stadium. Tonight felt like a preseason game. Like WWE, like, before the season starts, right? Before WrestleMania. This is the best way to put it. Before the season starts, tomorrow officially starts the WrestleMania season. The road to WrestleMania begins tomorrow. It's like WWE was looking at the calendar, and they're looking towards Saturday, and tomorrow is opening day. And they sent all of their starters out there to get their last practice swings in and get everybody loose and ready and warmed up for the season. And it really didn't materialize into anything. It was like, get your swings in, get your pitches in, get your warm-ups in, and then get to the hotel, sleep it off, and then we'll get going in the new year, in the new season. It's exactly what they did. It's amazing how the Royal Rumble is a lot of our favorite events of the year. Everybody watching me right now, everybody loves the Royal Rumble. I haven't seen this sort of disinterest in the Royal Rumble. I haven't seen this level of just blank. No excitement for the Royal Rumble. This is maybe the worst I've ever seen. You know, at least with Vince, Vince never really skimped on making the Royal Rumble feel important. You know, he had his years where he didn't really do much build either. I mean, the extent of his build some years were qualifying matches to get into the Royal Rumble. I mean, at least that was effort because you had to put matches together, and at least via the winner, we got someone that would declare for the Royal Rumble officially via a win. We didn't get anybody declaring for the Royal Rumble outside Cody Rhodes for the entire build, and that happened 2 weeks ago. And then, like a faucet turned on, everybody needed to declare for the Royal Rumble. Some declared on the show. Some declared via smoke signal if you're Roman Reigns. Some declared via FaceTime if you're Brock Lesnar. Some people were lied to about getting a spot in the Royal Rumble. Finn Balor was fucked over. He asked Adam Pearce for a spot in the Royal Rumble. Adam Pearce told him there was none. Come to find out, Brock Lesnar the very same day, or the very next day, asked the same question to Pat McAfee. Yeah, I'm in the Royal Rumble. Pat McAfee asked, "Are you ready?" Yeah, I'm gonna win the whole thing. Well, thanks for declaring, Brock, but I was told Finn Balor didn't have a spot to fill in the Royal Rumble. What gives you the opportunity to get that spot when we were told there were none? It's unbelievable how WWE approached the Royal Rumble build. R-Truth is over there spinning everybody's balls in the tumbler. They brought out the tumbler, and then they didn't use the tumbler for the entire 3-hour show tonight. Damian Priest was the only guy that drew his number out of the tumbler. Why bring it out? Why fly it all the way over there via a prop on the plane if you're not going to use it? This build has been horrific, chat. Build has been horrific. I can't even really point to something that was important on the show tonight. I guess the biggest thing that happened on tonight's show is that Cody Rhodes, the one thing in his promo, he got booed when he mentioned winning the Royal Rumble for a third straight year. Saudi Arabia loves to cheer and loves to sing. But when Cody Rhodes mentioned he's going to win the Royal Rumble for a third straight year, they were very vocal about not wanting to see him win. And then he made the assumption that when he wins, he mentioned CM Punk. And he looked right in the camera. Who's to say I don't go after CM Punk in the World's Heavyweight Championship? We haven't danced yet. How long do you think we're going to be able to put this off? It's the one match I've been asking for. It's the one match that I look at and say, WrestleMania. It's the biggest match that WWE hasn't done yet. For all the reports about WWE not wanting to give us Cody and Roman because of fan fatigue. Oh, Triple H doesn't want to give us Cody and Roman 3 out of the last 4 years for WrestleMania. All right, but what about Cody and Punk? Why does Cody need to go after Roman? Why does Cody need to go back after Drew McIntyre? There's no fan fatigue from giving us Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. A main event that's been happening since WrestlePalooza in September. They've been feuding since September. And we got how many matches out of it? 5? That's not including the 3 Stages of Hell match, which is 3 separate matches in one. I think he just said that for the effect of the promo. I don't really think he's going to go after CM Punk. I would be unbelievably shocked if he actually did challenge CM Punk for the World's Heavyweight Championship. He'd have to win the Royal Rumble. I don't see Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble tomorrow. But that's the one match I'm still hoping for. I doubt we get it. But that was an interesting tidbit in his promo. You're going to look back on this Cody Rhodes promo and look back at the reaction in Saudi Arabia, who, you know, they are a city in Riyadh, a country in Saudi Arabia that has welcomed WWE over the last 8 years. And Cody Rhodes is the face of the company. And they are so happy and so welcoming, and they love WWE coming there once or twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. The fact that you sent your biggest babyface out there to start the show and he got booed because he declared he was going to win the Royal Rumble for a 3rd straight year, booed by this audience. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I look at it as a very telling thing. If this audience, these people are booing Cody Rhodes, you may very well look back on this promo when Cody does turn heel, because I do believe he will be turning heel at some point. You'll look back at this promo and then wonder why. These things, the sounds of the negativity, the boos, the indifference towards Cody Rhodes, it's all mounting very, very slowly. And I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. If the idea is to do Roman and Cody, which might not be the match this year, because I don't really see, like Solomonster said on Tuesday Night Titans, and I 100% agree with him, the reason why they may not do that match, or the reason why it fell through the cracks and plans were canceled, is because neither one of them want to lose to each other. Now, who wins that? Unless there is a huge defining moment for Cody Rhodes in that match that sets up a match with Roman and Rock, you're not going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 3 straight years in a row. The guy has how many main events of WrestleMania? 9, 10? He lost at 40. He lost at 41. And you're going to have him lose again at 42? It's a lot to ask if you're WWE. It's a lot to ask if you're Roman Reigns. It only matches up like the whole idea of the match, the whole thing would work if Cody goes heel. And I don't really see solid plans in place. We don't know what's happening with Cody. He could very well win the championship back before WrestleMania. We don't know if Rock is going to be involved in next year's WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. We don't know. But that promo tonight from Cody Rhodes, I feel, is going to be looked back at and looked upon as one of the early setters up for Cody Rhodes turning heel. Other than that, the way WWE started this show was, it was kind of eye-rolling. Cody came out and Randy came out and Jey Uso yeeted himself out there and Sami Zayn came out there and then the Vision came out there because everybody's in the building. So you got Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman and Logan Paul and Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. And then before you know it, a half an hour went by and an 8-man tag team match was set up for the main event. And I audibly said to myself while watching TV, it took them 30 minutes to set up a fucking main event for Friday Night SmackDown. This is the glorious 3-hour format. It's unbelievable. And the way that this show was shot was, again, eye-rolling. Supposedly, there was 18,000 people in this Riyadh Season Stadium that supposedly sits 40,000 people, which we are supposed to have tomorrow at the Royal Rumble. Bro, the entire venue looked fucking empty. I mean, it looked like an AEW Collision on Friday night. What happened? That hard camera shot with those empty seats, man, that was... We talked about TNA where they filmed the fake reactors over there in the corner of the building with no fans and an empty background. I mean, this was just as fucking bad. Were there 18,000 people or were there 1,800 people in that one section? I can't fucking tell. It looked empty. Elsewhere on this show, we had to sit through a 15-minute match with The Miz and Ilja Dragunov. I know it's exciting stuff, man. It's so enthralling, so thrilling, so mesmerizing. The Miz wrestling Dragunov for 15 minutes. It's unbelievable. It's a barn burner of a match, man. That's what John Alba at Sports Illustrated calls a banger match, right? We got the Judgment Day versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And their Superwoman outfits that everybody's got to go out there and creatively put together because they can't wrestle in their normal gear. Carmelo Hayes had another open challenge tonight against Rey Fenix. Poor Rey Fenix. The sooner they move him to Raw and the sooner they pair him with Penta, the better off Rey Fenix will be. I don't know how WWE is getting their return on their investment, or why they're so fucking stupid when it comes to Rey Fenix. Get the guy in something that is going to make him bigger. Get him in something that is going to make him feel more important instead of being a fucking loser on this show. He's a loser. Other than that, I can't really point the finger of anything I really liked on this show. Maybe Gunther and AJ Styles, that's about it. But we talked about that. How many times have we talked about AJ Styles and Gunther? We'll give you guys some last-minute Royal Rumble predictions, some last-minute Royal Rumble news, and we'll go over what we can on this very boring episode of Friday Night SmackDown. This is your SmackDown post-show for January 30th, 2026. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew Gold. Use that code JD at checkout. Save 10% off your purchase of Blue Chew Gold. Do not become boring in the bedroom like Road Dogg and SmackDown Creative. Please, go get yourself some Blue Chew Gold. Code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys hit them up. It's the gold standard want to thank them for sponsoring the show right here tonight on Off the Script. It was a good day. It was a good day. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet, but today was a very good day. I'm very excited. I am very happy that we're already making progress in 2026. One of the things that I very much wanted to do this year is now checked off. You guys will find out about that very soon, and I'm very excited about it. And I want to thank you guys for keeping me in check. I want to thank you guys for showing up every night. We are live. And you guys give me the passion I need to continue doing this, man, because there was a time last year where my passion was completely shot and I really didn't want to make content anymore. But I fought through the fucking bullshit, and it's thanks to you guys. So again, I gotta stress, the more you tell me how much I help you, you guys do the same thing back to me. It's a good day. It's a good day. I want to thank everybody that showed up for the 2 streams that we did this week. We did TNT with the Solid Monster on Tuesday. We had a 51-minute watch time. Wednesday's Dynamite review, we did 32,000 views and counting. You guys really love that. Jesse and I brought the fire. We talked about a lot of different things. Ciampa debuted with AEW. We talked about the scandal in the IWC, whether it's true or not, with Tony Khan and his burner accounts. You guys enjoyed the discussion. Thank you very much for all that. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. I want to thank all the OTS VIPs over on iTunes and Spotify and all other audio platforms. We're almost in the top 20. We were number 23 as of today on the pro wrestling charts in the United States. So you guys are pushing us to the top 20, man. We can't do it without you. So let's do it. Let's keep us there. Leave a rating, leave a comment. Tell the algorithm that you love Off the Script, and it doesn't happen without you guys, man. So thank you for that. That was the highest that we've ranked all month so far this year. So good job. Super chats are open. Best way to support the show. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Again, helps us out in the algorithm. And like I mentioned before, go check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. Raw, TNT, Dynamite. Tonight we're live for SmackDown, and tomorrow we'll be live for the Royal Rumble. I'm thinking about going live around 6:30ish tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about the Royal Rumble and really make it happen tomorrow. Hopefully, it's a good show. I want to start with this, man, because there really wasn't much to talk about storyline-wise on SmackDown tonight. And I figured I'd start the stream off with some news, because there is some late news coming on in about what's happening at the Rumble and surprises and possible news on who's there, who's not going to be there, who said this, who said that. So I want to start off with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was on Pat McAfee's show, and he mentioned something about WWE has not created a new star since he has taken his quote-unquote hiatus. Roman Reigns needs WWE kids to get over and creative to get better. So Roman Reigns showed some tough love for Triple H's administration tonight on the Pat McAfee show, or today on the Pat McAfee show. Roman Reigns is the type of guy that when he says something, he knows he can get away with it. Roman Reigns is at a level where, I mean, he could probably commit murder in the middle of the ring and people will cheer him for it. He is invincible. He is like godlike status. He can do, say, and absolutely do whatever he wants. Anything he wants. The guy could snap his fingers and make something happen. So he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he says this. There's always a mindset of that WWE always being his show. But to be completely honest and transparent here, 2 years ago when it all changed around, and I've been doing my thing out there, it hasn't been the same of what I've done before. And the way I look at it is, I'm a generous tribal chief. So he's kind of in character. He's kind of in gimmick. But at the same time, he's not. Some of that truth always kind of bleeds through. I give the people plenty of time. These young talent, they say we hog all the TV time. They'll complain about one thing, and then I leave an opening. I give them plenty of space to create whatever type of superstardom they want. Get over, kids. Get over. You know what I mean? And we're 2 years here now, and we haven't advanced. We haven't evolved. We have a great leadership in Nick Khan. God bless him. What a businessman. He's a genius. But we have to be able to keep up with that creatively. Are they not keeping up with it creatively, Roman? I think the general consensus is no, especially coming out of 2025. And that's why people like me, people who are striving to be the very best, the greatest, the GOATs, the MJs, the Michael Jordans, I just can't sit around and see mediocrity. Not when I set it up for everybody to just slam it home. I mean, we're on Netflix, for crying out loud. You got to capitalize. We have people playing around and trying to figure it out. And I got the formula. I know how to cook it up. So it's been a tough couple of years for me, but at the same time, when you come off such a hell of a run, you got to kind of just pump the brakes for a second. You know, I've got 5 children at home. We all wear 2 very important hats, being a husband and a father. And I've been on the road for a long time, so I needed to be able to pull back a little bit. But I'm fully capable. And I'm only 40 years old. With all this tech and all the information we have now, I feel like I'm 25 years old. So I'm still good to go. The main thing he said in there was that they have to be able to keep up creatively. They have to keep up creatively. They haven't created a new star since he dropped the championship. It's basically what he's saying. They have not created a new star since he's dropped the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes 2 years ago. They've gotten worse creatively since he dropped the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes, which was the biggest storyline, arguably, of the modern era. What has WWE done to continue building upon that success? They left it all out there in Philadelphia, and they did not have a follow-up for it at all. The Vision wasn't its follow-up. No matter if Rollins didn't get hurt or not, the Vision was never going to be the Bloodline. The Oracle was never going to be the Wise Man. No matter what they wanted it to be, it was never going to be the Bloodline. It was always going to be a bargain basement, great value Walmart version of the Bloodline, led by Seth Rollins, which would eventually have led to a Rollins and Reigns match. But the group that he put together and the whole vibe around said group was never going to be the Bloodline. Because what they did with the Bloodline is vastly different than every other stable that WWE has had on their television show. The Bloodline was given time to develop. The Bloodline created stars. That's what it did. The Bloodline created Jey Uso. The Bloodline created Sami Zayn. The Bloodline created Solo Sikoa. And the Bloodline created the Tribal Chief. The Bloodline itself created 4 different stars. Poor Jimmy. Poor Jimmy Uso. He's got Naomi. He's fine. He's got a new kid coming. He's fine. We love Jimmy. The Bloodline created stars. The vision of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman created stars. But it took time to get there. It took time to get there. It didn't happen overnight. This thing happened in the middle of the fucking pandemic with no audience in front of virtual screens. They were telling some of the best stories in front of zero fans. They had to. But it showed you how valuable Jimmy, Jay, and Roman were in the beginning stages of the Bloodline. Has WWE even come close to any of that? Has WWE come close to any of that storytelling? Has WWE come close to any of that character development? The answer is no. Triple H doesn't have one star created under his administration since he's taken over for his father-in-law. Not one. He's hoping Gunther is that star. He's hoping Braun Breaker is that star. He's hoping Obafemi is that star. He's hoping Javon Evans is that star. He's hoping Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams are those stars. He hasn't created one star. He's made moments, but moments don't make stars. And what makes the moment bigger is the storyline going into the moment. When you have a storyline and a payoff with character development and characters that we are emotionally attached to, then the moment will be bigger. All right, we'll bring back AJ Lee and we'll just debut her back in Chicago, and then we'll put her in a feud with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. That'll be it. Moment. People winning in their hometown, people winning championships with no follow-up. John Cena's entire run, the heel turn, moment. Everything they do is for a moment. Everything they do is for clicks. Everything they do is for engagement. Everything they do is to have it happen and move on to the next. No build, no follow-up. This is what they're in the business of doing, telling stories. And the one thing they don't want to do is tell stories. Yet I got to hear drivel from Triple H. Oh, we tell cinematic stories like Marvel and DC. Bro, you ain't a fucking Steven Spielberg, okay? Nowhere close. When you can create something that is good as Jurassic Park, the original, or Jaws, or anything else that Steven Spielberg has attached his name to, Terminator 2, you don't have any right to sit there and claim that you tell stories. Roman is not wrong. Roman is partially in character because when you use verbiage like, I'm a generous tribal chief, sure. Thank you, Joseph. Roman's in character. But the other things he's talking about, Nick Khan and creative, that's very much how he really feels. Look at what they've had Roman doing. What has Roman been doing? What do you look back at in 2025 and look at when it comes to Roman Reigns? Did Roman Reigns have a good 2025? He had a great triple threat match, probably one of the best matches of the entire pro wrestling year at WrestleMania with Punk and Rollins. It's probably the best build that he's had all year. Other than that, he goes away, he comes back. He goes away, he comes back. He gets injured, written off TV, goes home, comes back. Go be a father, bro. Nobody's looking at you any differently. We miss you. In fact, we miss you because we know how important everything is when you are back. We know how everything is bigger when you're on TV. Roman doesn't come back for mediocrity. Roman's going to come back to fucking rule the world. That's what he has presented himself as. So when you look at people getting bored with Cody Rhodes and you look at people getting bored with CM Punk and you look at people getting bored with the WWE product, Roman knows what the people want because he's given the people what they wanted for 4 years. Roman took us all on an emotional roller coaster. Roman deviated away from the original Bloodline vision to include someone like Sami Zayn, which took the entire thing to a next level because we were all emotionally invested in Sami Zayn because what he was doing to Sami Zayn, we as a people have all been in those shoes. There hasn't been one storyline since the Honorary Uce that has emotionally attached people to the characters that were created there. Supposedly this was like, what, the 3-year anniversary of Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble? I saw the clip floating around on social media where Kevin Owens is tied up in the ropes and Roman is yelling at Sami, "This is my life. This is my life. This is my bloodline. Hit him." And Sami hit Roman in the back. Bro, I swear to God, you don't get any fucking tears out of me unless you're Bryan Danielson at WrestleMania 30 or Undertaker retiring Shawn Michaels. Undertaker retiring. Bro, you barely get a tear out of me when it comes to this pro wrestling thing. Or sadly, when someone passes on. Bro, I sat on the edge of my fucking couch with that steel chair shot and them beating the shit out of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens collectively. Bro, I had a single tear drop from my fucking eye. Because the storyline was fucking great. I haven't felt that way since they tied up all that. Have not. They have not given you anything close to that. What's missing from the product? That. What's missing from today's WWE product going into 2026? That. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. What happened? Why do we need Roman Reigns to go on Pat McAfee's show to tell us what's wrong with the product? I don't get it. And believe it or not, everybody wanted Cody Rhodes to win at WrestleMania 39. Everybody. And he lost. Whose idea was it for Roman to retain? Vince. He changed the creative. Triple H was going to have Cody win the fucking title. But look at what we got. Everything happened in some weird, bizarro, fucked up way with what happened going into 40. But it doesn't happen if WrestleMania 39 is Cody finishing his story. When people want to know what's wrong with the product, that's what's missing from the product. That's what's wrong with the product. We need that emotional attachment. I can't watch a Friday Night SmackDown at 3 hours and watch WWE throw out Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and all these big names against the Vision and Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Bro, where's the emotional connection? You know, anybody could be a fucking matchmaker, man. I could be a matchmaker. The fucking guy sitting in the back of the venue could be a fucking matchmaker. The geek with the fucking bunch of numbers in his name on Twitter can be a matchmaker. Tony Khan is a matchmaker. He's a good matchmaker, but he's not a storyteller. Triple H is a matchmaker. He hasn't told a solid story in going on 2 years now. He hasn't. He's basically in the same boat as Tony Khan. He's only making more money and having a successful run business-wise, more so than Tony Khan is. But they're both in the same boat. They're both matchmakers. You don't emotionally connect with the audience by making matches. You don't. You emotionally connect with the guy looking back at you in the mirror. That's the only time you're emotionally connecting. You're emotionally connecting with yourself. Which is why these guys do it. They do it to please themselves. They do it to get off on their own. Look at me. I got this roster. I got these guys. I got this. I got that. Let me throw these matches together because I want to see it. But what about the fans? What about the people who sat on the edge of their couch with Sami Zayn smashing a chair in the back of Roman Reigns and the bloodline fucking kicking Sami Zayn out as the honorary use? Only for Sami Zayn to go back and challenge Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber in Montreal. Where he should have won if he was going to win a world title. It should have been there, but that wasn't the fucking plan. Now we're talking about Sami Zayn going after the world championship, and it's not even going to hold a fucking candle to what happened there. That's when he should have won the title. That's when everybody was emotionally connected to Sami Zayn. Now, not so much. I'd love for someone to tell me when I'm speaking out of context. Tell me when I'm telling any sort of lie here. Great pro wrestling matches are fine. But great pro wrestling matches are not going to get your viewership where it needs to be. It's not. SmackDown has been under 1 million for the last 3 weeks. Why is that? You're not giving me anything to emotionally connect to. Who gives a shit about Cody Rhodes losing the WWE Championship and then Jacob Fatu coming out and going after Drew McIntyre because he feels like Drew McIntyre attacked him? Bro, a second grader could tell that story. It's legitimately a storyline that some fucking pencil neck geek at 2K Studios would write into the universe mode. Something basic. But you did nothing for the last 3 weeks to get us interested in anything that's happening on the show. And there are reasons for that, whatever they may be. But the fact that you have a Royal Rumble right now and nobody is emotionally connected to anybody in that Rumble to see win, that's a problem. That is a problem. I remember watching the product back when I was younger. And I'd see a Macho Man or a Bret Hart or a Bryan Danielson come on out or not. And I'd want to see them win the Royal Rumble because I was emotionally connected to those guys. I haven't been emotionally connected to anybody that has been presented on TV in that way whatsoever. Just a bunch of guys in a ring, filling 30 guys in a Royal Rumble, and whoever wins, wins. They win because that's where Triple H wants to go creatively. That's fine. But where you go creatively, you should tag along a story to go along with it. Because when there is a story, we'll care about why the match is happening more. When there's a story, we'll care about the characters a little bit more, so that when they do wrestle, we care and the process is complete. Story makes the television more meaningful. It makes the characters more meaningful. And it makes the match more meaningful. It's basically you looking at a baseball diamond. And you hit a home run. You're tagging all the bases. And you get one or however many people are on base. You get that number on the scoreboard. Why is this so difficult to figure out? Why do we need Roman to go on Pat McAfee's show to tell us that? It's fucking said. As far as the Royal Rumble, there is some news going into the Royal Rumble. Apparently, Will Hobbs is supposedly bound for Saudi Arabia. Now, I would not debut Powerhouse Hobbs, or his new name is believed to be Royce Keys. We don't know that for sure until it is official, but that's the rumor going around. Royce Keys. Fightful Select reported a number of weeks ago that Powerhouse Hobbs had finished up with All Elite Wrestling and was expected to go to WWE. Since then, we've confirmed that Hobbs is officially signed to WWE. Now, natural speculation has ensued, with many speculating that Hobbs is going to debut at the Royal Rumble. While obviously we can't confirm that he will be in the Rumble, WWE sources did indicate that Hobbs was scheduled to travel to Saudi Arabia this week. He did not travel over with the rest of the team that came over after Raw, and haven't heard of him popping up just yet. A lot was made in this week about AEW's offer to Hobbs. The offer was as big as indicated by Wrestling Observer, and he was highly sought out for a renewal. WWE stars we've spoken to are excited to see him join. Dave Meltzer put out that WWE offered Hobbs more money than AEW did, which was a flat-out lie. This was after Sean Ross Sapp put out a report stating that Tony Khan offered Will Hobbs a substantial amount of money and a huge money offer. So what does Dave do? He goes out there and says the opposite. WWE offered him more money, and he went to WWE because it was a better choice for his family. The offer didn't come close to what AEW offered. And then this week, Dave puts out another reversal to the reversal and says that WWE's offer was not as big as AEW's. That AEW offered him a large sum of money. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for proving that you're an idiot, number one. And number two, thank you for proving why nobody should spend $14.99 on a subscription to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Powerhouse Hobbs went to WWE not because of the money. He went to WWE because he wanted to be a superstar at the age of 34 years old. He did not want to be in AEW anymore for whatever reason. He's got his own reasons. Will we ever find out those reasons? Probably not. But it's becoming abundantly obvious that money isn't everything. Some people are going to take the money and run. Some people are going to look at you and tell you to shove that money straight up your asshole. Money does not buy happiness. Money does not buy someone a career advancement in the industry of pro wrestling. If you show them no growth is going to be had, if you show them no upward trajectory, and you only show them mediocrity and same old shit booking with no growth, but you tag along a 7-figure fucking paycheck with it, not everybody's going to bite. Powerhouse Hobbs wants superstardom. He wants to test his skills, and he probably wants Hollywood. That's why he left. He took less money to go to WWE, and he did not take Tony Khan's money. And that's fine. And that's fine. The way that I look at it this way. WWE got Powerhouse Hobbs. Tommaso Ciampa didn't want to renew. WWE supposedly offered him a contract. He wanted to join AEW. The way that I look at it is it's a fair, straight-up deal. It's like WWE traded Tommaso Ciampa for AEW's Powerhouse Hobbs, and now they just switched talents. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. As far as the other news coming out of Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble, this is all coming from Fightful Select. WWE, apparently, with the wardrobes that are going to be seen tomorrow at the Royal Rumble. Update on WWE wardrobe situation for the Royal Rumble. This is coming from WrestleVotes on Fightful Select. WrestleVotes on Fightful Select spoke to a talent involved in this weekend's Rumble match. That talent said that the same parameters were still in place for wardrobe. The talent was there, said there was no coordinated effort to make sure that anything was differentiated from others in the match. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select spoke with a talent who said they were responsible for paying for and having their own gear made for the show to fit these parameters. So WWE for the women are going to have them go out there wearing full-fledged bodysuits, and they got to get creative with it. Now, according to WrestleVotes, WWE is not paying for these new sets of ring attire to be made, and that falls on the burden, or that is the burden of the talent who's got to get this gear made, properly fitted, and ready for Saturday, which I don't really see to be a big deal. I mean, how much money are the talents making? They're making all this types of money. So if WWE is going to task them with going out and getting their own gear made, then go out and get your own gear made. But then you look at it, WWE is getting what, $150 million for their show? The least you could fucking do is get your talent some fucking gear. So either way you want to look at it, is WWE being greedy? Sure. Should the talent be able to pay for their own ring attire? Sure. But WWE's making more money than God right now, especially for these shows. You can allot a certain portion of that money for your talent, being that you're having them fly halfway across the fucking world to go perform in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble. You want to go over there. You got a commitment to Saudi Arabia. You are making all this types of money. You should be taking care of your talent. I don't blame people for looking at it in that way. Other news for the Royal Rumble. Tiffany Stratton. She's been out of action for quite a while, since November. She lost to Jade Cargill, and she lost the Women's Championship to Jade Cargill. It was reported later that month that she'd be healing up from an injury. 3 months later, she looked poised for a return. WrestleVotes is reporting that Tiffany Stratton is in Saudi Arabia and planned for the Royal Rumble match. If it comes to fruition, it would only be her second Royal Rumble match ever. I think we can expect Tiffany Stratton. We can expect Bianca Belair. We could expect AJ Lee. I think these are some of the ladies returning to action in the Women's Royal Rumble. Also rumored for the Royal Rumble, Jacy Jayne. She was not on NXT Tuesday. She was noticeably absent with the rest of Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley was out there, and most of the time anybody's watching Fatal Influence, I think everybody's just watching Fallon Henley anyway, so the other two are pretty non-existent. Fallon Henley and Izzy Dame. Is that who's in the, who's the other one? I don't even know. Izzy Dame's with Sean Spears, right? Who's the other one in Fatal Influence? I don't know. Who gives a shit? Call them up and get them on SmackDown, legitimately. Jacy Jayne is more than likely going to be in the Royal Rumble. Sol Ruka is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Lola Vice is going to be in the Royal Rumble. And I'm making a prediction here. I think that we see Saraya. I think we see Paige back with the WWE. I think she shows back up in WWE. The Royal Rumble is the perfect place to do that. I also think that Liv Morgan is going to win the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. I think Liv Morgan's going to win the Royal Rumble. And I do think that the Final Four will consist of Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair. Lainey Reed. Lainey Reed is in Fatal Influence. She's the other one standing across Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne. I apologize to all the Lainey Reed fanatics out there. Sorry. I don't watch NXT like I used to. I just don't understand the show anymore or who it's really kind of for nowadays. I genuinely feel bad for everybody that missed the black and gold era, and this is the only NXT that you are told to digest. So yes. As far as the men, I'm going with Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns will win the men's Royal Rumble. I think we have a Final Four of Braun Breaker. I think we have Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. I think those will be the Final Four. I think Braun Breaker will be the Iron Man. I'm looking at... It's tough. Either Liv Morgan or I could see Jordan Grace. I could see Roxanne Perez be the Iron Woman. I think the Iron Man could be Braun Breaker. I think Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes. I think Braun Breaker will have the most eliminations. I think we see Obafemi eliminate Brock Lesnar. I'm excited for the actual substance of the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of possibilities. But WWE's got to really step up to the plate and be a little adventurous. There's no reason to be safe tomorrow. None. Stop being safe. The Royal Rumble gives you a lot of different opportunities. There's no reason to be safe in the Royal Rumble. Go out there and do what you got to do. Create some stories, create some intrigue. I want to be invested by the time the show is over. Because coming on in, I don't think many of us are invested in what WWE is selling right now. Let's get into this Friday Night SmackDown show here. Not much happened. We got Cody Rhodes out there to start things off. Cody Rhodes starts things off on Friday Night SmackDown. So Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, what do you want to talk about? He said that he half expected to be coming down here to be trading punches with Jacob Fatu, but all that fun he and Fatu had was prematurely ended by Drew McIntyre. Yes, LA Knight will be in the Royal Rumble, and I do see Chris Jericho in the Royal Rumble. Yes. I do see Chris Jericho in the Royal Rumble. Rhodes talked about how the crowd got his blood pumping, and it sounds like they were very ready for the Royal Rumble, and that all McIntyre won the title. But it's not the most important thing that comes with it. Something that McIntyre won't ever understand. Rhodes pointed out that McIntyre dropped the ball instead of taking SmackDown for his own by being nowhere to be found. Rhodes talked about that it could make all the sense in the world if he could win the Royal Rumble for a third time, something that didn't seem to sit well with the Riyadh crowd. They booed him. When Cody mentioned he would win the Royal Rumble for a third time, they booed him. Maybe, however, it might not even be Drew McIntyre he faces after tomorrow night. It might be his friend Sami Zayn, who they cheered. He noted that it could come down to facing World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk tomorrow. Something that'll have to eventually happen in his eyes. We can't keep avoiding each other forever, he tells Punk. Before Rhodes could continue, Randy Orton interrupted. And this was American Idol Riyadh edition because they wanted to do nothing but sing Randy Orton's theme song. He eventually got to the ring. Orton said that everyone knows how he felt about Rhodes. They are brothers. They are very good friends. Nobody understood how it tore Rhodes up to lose that title more than Orton. He talked about how at tomorrow's Royal Rumble, how dangerous a desperate Cody Rhodes can be. But there is nothing more dangerous than a viper chasing number 15. Orton said that if he had the chance, he would throw Rhodes over the top rope without hesitation tomorrow. He reminded Rhodes that he wasn't the only one who won the Royal Rumble twice. Then out comes Yeet Man, who will not be winning the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Jey Uso interrupted. He ran to the ring so he can jump on the top rope and bounce along with everybody while the beat of his music dropped. He led the crowd in yeeting. It stopped. He ran it back. He yeeted again. He addressed both Rhodes and Orton respectfully before he said he was going to run it back, win the Rumble, become the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania again. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Sami Zayn then came out. He got a very loud reaction from the Riyadh crowd. He had a mic. He was speaking in Arabic. Zayn said that he recognized that he was in the ring with 3 of the absolute best. And since everyone was talking about their plans for the Royal Rumble, perhaps he should talk about his plan. Zayn said his match against McIntyre is not just a match for him, but something that was a culmination of 3 stories. Becoming the world champion, the fact that he's never beaten Drew McIntyre, and the fact that he's never lost a match in Saudi Arabia. Well, you're not winning the WWE Championship, you're not beating Drew McIntyre tomorrow, and you are again going to lose, this time ending your quote-unquote undefeated streak in Saudi Arabia. So he talked about how he plans to become the new undisputed WWE champion, and that if Rhodes, Uso, or Orton won, it would be him waiting on the other side. Then all of a sudden we hear Paul Heyman, ladies and gentlemen. The Vision showed up. Heyman said that he saw the Vision on the ramp, and 4 superstars who have no vision inside the ring. Said that Sami Zayn would have no chance in winning the title tomorrow, and that the other 3 men in the ring would not win the Royal Rumble. By tomorrow night, we'd all learn by the decree of the Vision that it would be Braun Breaker's Rumble. Orton interjected and told Paul Heyman to shut the hell up. He dared the Vision to come down to the ring for a fight, but before we could get that far, Nick Aldis interrupted, and thank God ended this segment. Main event is set. Vision versus Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. Bro, this is the product of a 3-hour SmackDown. The product of a 3-hour SmackDown. We got 30 minutes to start the show. Not one single punch was thrown. Not one single match happened. And we got a segment that opened the show with everybody that's competing in the Royal Rumble, explaining why they're going to do this and why they're going to do that. It took them a half an hour to get the main event set up for tonight's show. If that isn't any indication that this show is going to be a long, drawn-out fucking slog, a sloth-like race till 11 o'clock, I don't know what else to tell you. This was excruciatingly long. Excruciatingly long. AEW is giving you 3 matches in this time. Back to back to back. Or maybe one Jon Moxley match for the Continental Championship Eliminator Series that he's got going on. I don't get it. I don't know how anybody was interested in this show after that. Carmelo Hayes. He went one-on-one with Rey Fenix as he answered the call for the United States Open Challenge. We need to do something with Rey Fenix. We need to get him the fuck off this brand. We need him to get away from Friday night. We need to pair him back up with Penta. You got Jey Uso out here competing in the Royal Rumble, claiming he's going to win the World Championship as one half of the Tag Team Championships. Brother, you should be focusing on your Tag Team Championships. Nobody wants to see you win the Rumble. Nobody wants to see you win the World title. And nobody wants to see you competing for it at WrestleMania. The Lucha Brothers versus the Usos need to happen at WrestleMania. It needs to happen. Carmelo Hayes is quietly putting together a string of matches that you're going to look back on this year, and if he's not in the PWI top 10, or if he isn't in the Pro Wrestler of the Year discussion, if he continues at this pace, I don't know what we're doing. He is slowly but surely becoming one of the most complete performers in the business. And Carmelo is doing great work. Rey Fenix, on the other hand, I can't really pinpoint what he has done that's important on this show, but he is a competitive athlete. But he's also a loser because creative treats him as one. So when creative treats you like a loser, what do you think the audience is going to look at? How do you think the audience is going to treat you? Like a loser. It's just the way it goes. We'll pick it up after the commercial break here. We went to a commercial break. Corkscrew plancha took out Carmelo Hayes by Rey Fenix. Fenix caught Hayes in a rolling pinning combination that didn't work out. Springboard elbow by Fenix. He gives Carmelo a set of kicks. Hayes avoided a springboard elbow from Fenix, coming back with his signature springboard clothesline, which always looked great by Melo. Hayes leapt from the middle turnbuckle with a DDT that beautifully spiked Rey Fenix on the top of his head. 2 count only. Hayes attempted a first 48. Fenix countered that successfully. Hayes is in the corner. Fenix leapt off of Melo and hit a spinning kick. Fenix lifted Hayes on his shoulders for the MFB, and he rolled into a pin attempt. Did Melo. Fenix faked a dodge between the middle ropes and hit Hayes with a super kick. Melo responded with a super kick of his own. Both guys are doubled down with stereo super kicks right to the jaw. So both men get back to their feet. Hayes chopped down Fenix. Another double down. We go into another commercial break, and we come back from the second commercial break. Hayes and Fenix were fighting it out on the top rope. Fenix stood on the top rope of the ring post, and he hits his fire stomp on Carmelo. Fenix followed that up with a springboard moonsault on Melo, and that only got a near fall. Hayes got ahead of a Fenix kick and turned it into a La Mystica for a 2. Hayes, he struggled a little bit to lift Fenix up, hit him with the kick, followed with a springboard DDT, which he wasn't even looking, and hit it anyway. He gets a 2 count. Fenix avoided a nothing but net attempt from Melo, hit him with a surprise rolling thunder DDT, and he only gets a 2 count. So Hayes intercepted a charging Fenix attack with the first 48. He quickly goes to the top rope. He hits nothing but net, and that was enough for Melo to retain the United States Championship. 1, 2, 3. He defeats Rey Fenix. Another solid match. Melo, like I said, is quietly putting together a string of matches where you could look at him as being Pro Wrestler of the Year, or at least having credentials for Pro Wrestler of the Year. So far early this year, I said the same thing about Punk. He wrestled Styles, he wrestled Balor, he wrestled Breaker, all in the month of January. So he's putting credentials together as Melo. Same way. He's doing some great work, and that United States title is, it's a great thing for someone like Carmelo. And I hope that they have a plan for it and a plan for Melo going into WrestleMania, because with the body of work that he's been giving us, he should absolutely have a WrestleMania spot. Absolutely. Dragunov was seen watching this match because The Miz fucked him over last week. So he was watching this match as The Miz approached Dragunov and claimed that Melo put him up to interfering last week. So The Miz is a liar. Dragunov says that he didn't care if The Miz was working with Hayes, but tonight, Miz's pain would entertain him. Footage was shown of Brock Lesnar announcing he was in the Royal Rumble tomorrow via FaceTime on the Pat McAfee show. Poor Finn Balor. Balor was told there was no more spots on Monday night. And then we come to find out on Tuesday that Brock Lesnar declared for the Royal Rumble. Great. Sucks to be Balor. Hopefully Balor finds his way in. I don't really see WWE having a Royal Rumble without Finn Balor. That would be ridiculous. Drew McIntyre. He was interviewed as he addressed the words shared by Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn earlier in the opening segment. McIntyre said that Zayn was a stupid man for taking on the 8-man tag team match later, but he would certainly be watching. McIntyre said that he was going to do whatever it takes to keep the title, and asked if Sami Zayn was willing to do the same to be the champion, as he called himself the most dangerous man in WWE. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were confronted by Julia and Kiana James. And then they had a exchange, both teams did, because they are the number one contenders now for the tag team titles. Nia Jax and Lash Legend showed up, and they tried to stir the pot here and cause some trouble as all these ladies were bickering and arguing. A group of referees and backstage agents appeared to calm everybody down, with Michael Cole shilling the women's tag team division, saying, and I quote, "The division has never been hotter." And still, there's not one interesting thing coming out of said hot division. Speaking of the women, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they are out there addressing the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Best friends competing in the Royal Rumble, and they will be competing for the right to win tomorrow's match, even if it takes going through each other. They actually may start the Royal Rumble. We could see Alexa and Charlotte start the Royal Rumble tomorrow. I would not be shocked by that. So they're both in the ring. Flair said that the women were at each other's throats lately, but she was going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair is not winning back-to-back Rumbles. I think people would be outraged. That would be the worst creative decision maybe of all time. Charlotte's not winning the Royal Rumble. If they want to give Charlotte the chamber, that's a different story. Charlotte is not winning the Royal Rumble, nor should it be a thought in anybody's mind. Erase it. She's going to WrestleMania, and there was nobody she'd rather have watching her back than Lexi. Flair was interrupted by Bliss, who said that she'd do the same, as she was one of the first women to wrestle in the Middle East, and that she'd win her first Royal Rumble. Flair continued to be annoyed by Alexa, but was told by Bliss that not everything was about Charlotte. They two got a little chatty with each other, and they started bickering with each other. So the Judgment Day ladies interrupted. Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez come walking out. Morgan said that while Flair and Bliss were busy arguing, "You're looking at the winner of the Royal Rumble in me," she says. She claims she will be winning the Royal Rumble. This prompted Flair and Bliss to challenge them to a fight right here and right now. Liv says that there would be no fight, as they have better things to do, like winning the Royal Rumble. Nick Aldis, he walks on out. He told the Judgment Day ladies, "You know, I got this thing on Friday Night SmackDown. When you want to come out here and start trouble and come out walking on this stage, that means that you want to wrestle in that ring tonight." So he made a match with Roxanne and Liv versus Charlotte and Alexa. Tag team match. Again, this was nothing more than the All-Star team or the WWE All-Stars going out there for a preseason game before the season actually begins. What does this have to do with anything? Oh, this is a glimpse into the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Sure thing. But why don't you enjoy the good wrestling, Jake? It means nothing. What does it mean? All of this will be like none of it even mattered next week. Liv and Roxanne are Raw stars, yet they're wrestling Charlotte and Alexa, who are SmackDown stars. They will have nothing to do with each other, unless WWE wants to put them in the tag team division. What do they have to do with each other? They're not going to intertwine these stories together, so why do I care? I barely cared to begin with. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Bliss broke out of a hold from Liv. She struggled to get to the corner. So Bliss slaps Morgan, finally gets the tag to Flair. Flair headed up top, hits a crossbody on both Roxanne and Liv, and then she starts going off with chops on both of them. Flair connected with the somersault clothesline on Morgan, followed by a fallaway slam on Perez with her kip up. Flair literally walked over Perez and Morgan before she went on the top rope for the moonsault. The moonsault did not connect the way that it usually does. Charlotte's been doing a little bit of a better job with the moonsault. This looked like she did not come down all the way. I wonder if it has anything to do with those fucking bodysuits that they're wearing. Seriously. They might be constricting some blood flow and constricting some movement. We don't know. The moonsault by Charlotte tonight did not look good. Normally, it has been looking good. She did not connect on this at all. She made the revolution and it looked good in motion, but when she came down, the landing did not hit. So she goes with the moonsaults, kind of a botch. Still wasn't enough to get the pin. Morgan dropped Flair's throat across the top rope, caught her with a step-up enziguri. Alexa tagged, took down Morgan as Perez broke up the count. Perez and Bliss hit their combination codebreaker Russian leg sweep, but that wasn't enough for the win. Raquel Rodriguez tried to get involved. Stephanie Vaquer was out there. She looked good in that bodysuit. Stephanie looked really good. She got one of the better bodysuits that the ladies are wearing. Stephanie emerged and super kicked her, which caught Perez's eye. This left her open to the Sister Abigail DDT by Bliss. And the Judgment Day lose again. You know, WWE has pinned Roxanne Perez a lot of times in the last several weeks. Makes me wonder if Roxanne Perez may win the Royal Rumble. You think WWE would even be that adventurous to give Roxanne Perez the Royal Rumble? I could see Roxanne Perez being eliminated by one of the Judgment Day ladies accidentally, which would cause a rift slightly. I'm sticking with Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez winning the Money in the Bank. Creating stars, says Roman. That's how you do it. Liv is already a star, but Roxanne Perez winning Money in the Bank? Sure. I like the sound of that. This match is what it was. I mean, who cares? They're both of these teams are on separate brands, so why would I care about anything that's coming here after? Like I said, a scrimmage right before the start of the season. It's basically what this was. Jordynne Grace was interviewed about her chances in the Women's Royal Rumble match. She looked very shiny, did Jordynne Grace. She looked very sparkly. I don't know what you would say Jordynne Grace looked like, but she looked like she was dipped in a glass of frosting and sprinkles. What she looked like. Jade Cargill ambushed Jordynne Grace from behind. Cargill talked shit to Grace. And before she could get out, you ain't winning the Royal Rumble. You ain't winning my title because I'm that bitch. Before she said the word bitch, Jordynne Grace punched her in the face and they began brawling. They were separated by officials. Yes, Jordynne Grace was glazed. Yes. She looked like a fireworks sparkler on the 4th of July. Gee, I wonder why Tommaso Ciampa went over to AEW. Axiom. He goes one-on-one with Johnny Gargano. And we got the official word chat that this was for the mask. Oh, man. So exciting. Axiom's mask is on the line here against Johnny Gargano. Again, listen, both guys are great wrestlers. But this company, Bruce, I'm assuming this is Bruce. Bruce has got a obsession with theft. The tribal thief stealing shoes, Solo Sikoa stealing the lantern, Johnny Gargano stealing the mask. What else was stolen this year? Anybody else have anything else stolen? Bruce Pritchard has stolen a lot of our fucking life away from this fucking world we're living in because of this terrible program. What else was stolen this year? Anything else that I'm missing? We got lanterns. We got masks. We got... what else? Shoes. Our time. Wait till Danhausen gets involved. Danhausen's going to be stealing teeth. You guys can come up with some other things. The golden egg. Oh, the bracelet. Well, that actually fit. Listen, the whole storyline was not about the bracelet. Drew McIntyre stealing CM Punk's bracelet was not the story. Okay? Life, money, our dignity. Yeah. It's crazy. Anyway, this was a fine match. I mean, I don't know who could possibly care about this. Who cares? We go into a commercial break. Axiom takes out Johnny Gargano with a suicide dive. We come back from the break. Axiom got hit with a side kick from Gargano. He turns around and hit a Spanish fly for a 2 count. Axiom hits a Snapdragon suplex on Johnny that sent him out of the ring. Axiom leapt up to the top rope and hit a moonsault on Gargano as he followed that up with a missile dropkick inside the ring. Axiom kipped up and got hit with a super kick from Johnny as he was dropped with a modified Michinoku driver. Only a near fall off the Michinoku driver. Axiom hit Gargano with a big step-up kick in the corner. He got dropped from the top rope. Gargano followed that up with a deadeye, or if you want to call it that, his version of a deadeye. Another near fall off that clothesline from Johnny. Johnny headed up top, and he was intercepted by another step-up kick from Axiom. This opened Johnny up for an avalanche Spanish fly. Axiom tried to go for what he calls the golden ratio. Took too long, and apparently Johnny Gargano successfully countered it. So after he countered the golden ratio, Johnny goes over and rips off Axiom's current mask. So whatever mask he was wearing, he ripped it off. So he did not anticipate Axiom to take another mask out of wherever he took the mask out from. I think he might have taken the mask that Johnny had stolen from him originally. He put on another mask. Johnny celebrating like he took Axiom's mask off and that we were going to see his face reveal, only for Johnny to turn around and get hit with the golden ratio. 1, 2, 3, and Johnny Gargano is now maskless. He's got no masks. Where was Candice LeRae, you ask? Nick Aldis banned Candice LeRae from ringside before the match started. The feud between Johnny Gargano and Axiom has now mercifully come to an end. Axiom got his masks back. Great. Great. What else? What's next to be stolen, Bruce? Huh? What's next to be stolen? Huh? Maybe we'll steal Montez Ford's sunglasses. Oh, that's right. He's on the NXT house show circuit. How could he be on Friday nights? Maybe we'll get Nikki Cross's mask stolen. Maybe we'll steal Michael Cole's Budweisers. Maybe we'll steal Wade Barrett's electric guitar. What else can we steal? Maybe we'll steal Cody Rhodes' cufflinks. How about that? Carmelo Hayes tried to explain that he had nothing to do with The Miz's involvement to Dragunov. The Miz is a liar. Why would we believe The Miz? He was told by Ilja that he wasn't taking a shot at Carmelo Hayes' U.S. title or asking for a shot. He was expecting Melo to give him a rematch. That would be the third match in how many weeks? Kind of over it. Trick Williams was interviewed about his chances in the Royal Rumble. Williams pointed out that he's wearing his lemon pepper steppers and that the world is talking about him and that he'd be the last man standing in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. www.trickwillieworldwide.com. What was his website? trickwillieworldwide.com. Let's talk about it. AJ Styles. Styles made his way down to the ring. This may be the last Friday Night SmackDown in the WWE career of AJ Styles. AJ's in the ring. He's set to address Gunther. He welcomed the crowd to Friday Night SmackDown. The house that AJ Styles built. He may be saying this on Wednesday's Dynamite come Wednesday. Talked about the big match happening tomorrow. Styles says that some of us were worried about tomorrow, but we shouldn't be because he's going to beat Gunther and start the phenomenal farewell tour. Styles teased that we would get one more with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and even CM Punk. Before Styles could continue, Gunther interrupted him to no music. He came out from the commentary section. Gunther says that he appreciated how much Styles had fantasy over his future, but none of that would happen because Styles made a mistake so severe it would cost him his career. Gunther vowed to end Styles' career and do it in the same way he did it to John Cena by making him tap out. Styles responded that it took one to know one because Gunther was the one who tapped out like a little bitch. This riled Gunther up, so he got on the apron, and he looked like he was going to fight right then and there. But he thought better of it, and he walked away. Wow. Do you guys believe that this is what they've done with AJ's final match? How little they put into it. How little story, how little effort they put into it. For him to lose tomorrow would be absolutely offensive. That this is the way AJ Styles' WWE career ends. It's almost as if it comes off to me like the guy can't wait to get the fuck out of there so he can go and do whatever he wants for the rest of the year. That's basically what it feels like to me. I don't know. Has the build felt important to this? Do you get a sense that this feels important? I don't. I will say, the one positive about this is that it feels unpredictable. And I talked about this on Monday when we were live for Raw. It feels unpredictable. It feels unpredictable because the fans are in such a denial that they don't think that this man's career is going to be ended tomorrow. Everybody thinks that he's going to win. How can he not be at WrestleMania? How could WWE not offer him an extension to keep him through WrestleMania? How is he never going to retire at WrestleMania? Why is he retiring at the Rumble? Why? Has AJ not wanted an extension? Does he not want to stay? At least through WrestleMania? I don't know. I think AJ Styles loses tomorrow. I think AJ loses. I think if you beat Gunther tomorrow, I mean, you're just erasing everything that you wanted to do with him beating Cena. I think Styles and his WWE career is over tomorrow. I think he will be back eventually. Hall of Fame, maybe an agent or a producer. Who knows? I think AJ retires tomorrow. I think we get AJ in TNA. I think we get AJ in New Japan. And I think we get AJ Styles in AEW. I do. I think we get AJ in AEW. I think he'll wrestle at Wembley. I think he'll go into the TNA Hall of Fame during Bound for Glory weekend. And I think at the end of this year, he's going to do what he wants to do through the remainder of the year and retire at the end of the year. He's going to give us his own world tour, which I don't blame him, seeing that WWE fucked up John Cena's retirement tour. He's going to take his retirement tour and do it his own way. Wrestle who he wants, where he wants, when he wants. I think that's what we talked about on Tuesday, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I just, it's just so fucking bizarre how this is it. In Saudi Arabia at the Rumble, this is it for Styles. Nobody wants to believe it because it's so fucking ludicrous. It's so ridiculous. How you got AJ Styles and he's not going to retire in WWE at WrestleMania? So what do you do with Gunther? If he retires Styles, what do you do with Gunther at WrestleMania? Do we go Gunther Lesnar? Because they wanted to do that at 39. Do we do that? I would rather see Oba versus Brock instead of Gunther versus Brock. I would much rather see Styles and Gunther again with a proper story and a setting. Oba and Brock. Do we get Brock and Gunther? So who does Oba get at WrestleMania? Because if Oba's on the main roster come Monday, I think Oba's going to be factored, or at least should be, into the Mania plans. Who does he wrestle? It's a very bizarre one. Very, very bizarre. Shinsuke Nakamura was seen watching from backstage as Tama Tonga approached him. One half of the new tag team champions mocked Nakamura for not being his best. He's no longer the king of strong style. The old Shinsuke Nakamura would have destroyed AJ Styles. Tama Tonga told him, "You should go follow Styles into retirement." Nakamura responded that he was going to show Tama strong style next week. Oh, joy. We got more MFT tomorrow or next week. MFTs are now feuding with Nakamura, or at least Tama Tonga is. Are you excited about Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura? I know I'm not. You know what else I'm not excited about? Miz. Miz versus Dragunov. One-on-one. This went way too long. Way too long. I don't know who. I mean, Saudi Arabia was basically as quiet as they were all night for this match. We'll pick it up after the break here. Dragunov flew over the top rope right into the Miz, and we go into a commercial break. Miz had Dragunov in a rest hold because that's what he does. That was eventually broken up by Dragunov. He battled back with elbows to the face of the Miz. He couldn't connect on a powerbomb. Miz instead hit his signature neck breaker on Ilja. That was not enough for the 3 count. Miz got arrogant. He kicked Dragunov, which only angered Dragunov. He comes back with some big strikes. Dragunov took down the Miz with a big enziguri right to the head. And that sent Miz into the corner. Dragunov is throwing some chops at the Miz. And he ended with a barrage of machine gun chops to Miz's chest. Dragunov connected with the Constantine special. Miz managed to kick out at a 2. This led to Dragunov holding on to Miz very tight and hits his German suplexes, followed by the standing Uranage. Miz is in position. Dragunov attempted the H-bomb. He was met with a kick and a Miz DDT for a near fall. Miz's offense is terrible. Did I mention that? The Miz's offense is fucking terrible. Miz had Dragunov in position for a skull-crushing finale, could not connect. However, he did connect with a clothesline, his signature clothesline, in the corner. Miz tried to get up to the top rope. Dragunov intercepted him. Some strikes by Dragunov as Miz is on the top. Miz raked Dragunov's eyes. He dumped him from the top rope. Miz was set to dive, and he was met with a torpedo Moscow. Dragunov then finished the Miz off with the H-bomb for the 1-2-3. I love Dragunov. I think he is a possibility for the Iron Man tomorrow. I'd love to see Dragunov and Breaker. I'd love to see Dragunov and Fatu. I'd love to see Dragunov and Gunther. Dragunov and Femi in the Royal Rumble. Dragunov's great. Loves the way he wrestles. He's fucking excellent. Miz, the Miz is very hot and cold. He shows up. Some weeks he has a banger match. Some weeks it's like, bro, are we just including him on the show as like a handout? Like why is he on the show? 3-hour SmackDowns. This is what you get. You got to get at least 1 or 2 Miz segments in 2026.
But JD, what is the disrespect towards the Miz, JD?
The Miz is boring. He's boring. He's a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest IC champions of all time. He's boring. What does he bring to the table in a pro wrestling aspect in 2026? Solo Sikoa. He's with the MFTs. They are the new tag team champions. They were cut off by the Wyatts as they were talking about the Lantern and the tag team titles. The Wyatts said the MFTs have not been, or they haven't won yet. Bo Dallas says their Lantern and the WWE titles would come back to them, and that the millions of fireflies around the world will illuminate Solo Sikoa's insecurities and would ensure the MFT's demise. Can you ensure that this storyline meets its demise? That's what I want to know. Can all 100,000 millions of those fireflies summon and come together the end of this storyline? That's what I'd like to know. Awful. How anybody accepts this fucking drivel on this show. It's ridiculous. One of the worst storylines, one of the worst angles, one of the worst feuds. You could go back to last year, all last year, man. We're bleeding this shit into 2026. It's awful television. They need to end it immediately. The Vision. Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. Does any of this matter? None of this matters. Again, this is basically a preseason game before the big show. A preseason game before opening day. That's all this was. What do the Vision have to do with any of these guys? Nothing. It's basically fucking Survivor Series unofficially all over again. Raw vs. SmackDown. We'll pick it up towards the end because that's the only part of the show, or part of the match rather, that really mattered. Reed hits a sidewalk slam on Cody Rhodes, who was being isolated away from his teammates. Rhodes avoided an attack from Logan and suplex Breaker as he then avoided an elbow drop from Austin Theory. Reed failed. He failed to hit Rhodes with a senton as he immediately gets a tag as Cody to Randy Orton. Hot tag into Randy Orton. So Randy Orton comes in, snap power slam on Theory, followed by his draping DDT. Orton stalked Theory, but he was hit by Logan Paul, who he took out Randy Orton before he could get an RKO on Theory. So we got everybody just kind of getting in there, getting their shit in. By the end of it, Orton hit Theory with the RKO. Logan Paul broke up the pin. Rhodes hit Breaker with Crossroads. He got dropped by Bronson Reed, who in turn got hit by a tornado DDT by Sami Zayn. Just as Zayn had Reed locked in for the haluva kick, Drew McIntyre pulled him out of the ring, and the bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. And Drew McIntyre causes a DQ. So the babyfaces win by DQ. And after the bell rang, McIntyre took his title like he was going to hit Sami Zayn with it until Jacob Fatu's theme music hit. So Fatu did not come down the aisle. He came out from the timekeeper's area right behind Drew McIntyre, threw him out of the ring. Rhodes recovered and dove onto Fatu as soon as he seen him on the outside and then threw Fatu into the ring post into the steel steps. McIntyre got ahead of this and threw Rhodes into the steel steps. In the ring, McIntyre had Rhodes in sight for a Claymore, but McIntyre was hit by a haluva kick by Sami Zayn. Zayn took notice of McIntyre's undisputed title. He grabbed it. And at the same time, Cody Rhodes held onto the title, and they were both holding on to the WWE title as the credits with Triple H and Lee Fitting's name showed up on the screen. Just as the copyright graphic went away, Braun Breaker hit both men with the double spear to end Friday Night SmackDown. And that's the way your go-home show for the Royal Rumble came to an end. Fucking boring, lazy, lousy, whatever you want to call it. It lacked so much creativity. It's almost as if WWE didn't want to be there. Yeah, we'll just throw these random matches together. It's basically what it boils down to. It was a preseason game that WWE was hopefully getting ready for tomorrow with the start of the season. How can we get everybody their last stretches? How can we get everybody in the shape that they need to, man? Go out there and get some practice scrimmage in. Show was absolutely fucking lifeless. Lifeless, I tell you. That's your Friday Night SmackDown. Appreciate you guys being here with me on this Friday night. Tonight, we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Tonight, we are pushing the gold. All right, guys, tonight's SmackDown. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. No heat, no urgency, no Royal Rumble build. It felt like WWE rolled out the practice squads, ran some drills, and said, yeah, we'll figure it out later, man. No stakes, no momentum. Boring. And fellas, that's exactly why I'm thankful for Blue Chew Gold, and you should be too. Because when everything else comes out flat, boring, and uninspired, Blue Chew Gold actually delivers. It's the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This isn't a thrown-together episode with no direction. This is a 4-in-1 powerhouse built to set the gold standard for performance. When it's time to show up, this helps make sure you're not sleepwalking through the moment like WWE did tonight. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and can work in as little as 15 minutes. No long build, no filler. No, let's see where this goes. Just elevation without hesitation. Tonight's SmackDown felt like a scrimmage. Your main event should feel like the Royal Rumble Final Four. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. While WWE's out here wasting time and hoping excitement magically appears, you're actually prepared to deliver when it matters. Because this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy. Or what I like to say is your third leg, see. And trust me, nothing kills the mood faster than something that feels as lifeless as tonight's SmackDown. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We got a special deal for all of our listeners tonight. 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code JD. It's promo code JD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank them for sponsoring the podcast right here for the Friday Night SmackDown post show on Off the Script. Let's get into these super chats. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. Good Friday, JD OTS. How are you? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Tone C with a $5 super chat. Taking my girlfriend to see BLS in March and Alter Bridge in May. Just got my tickets today. Bro, if the lady don't like Alter Bridge, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Joey Taylor with a $2 super chat. 4 years of watching you, JD. Well, thank you, Joey. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. I'm skeptical of Ciampa booking and success in AEW. Sometimes I feel there should be another company where talent can go. Most cats don't go to Impact. Well, nobody goes to Impact because they don't spend any money. If they opened up the fucking checkbook, maybe more people would go. MGM Ballin with a $9.99. Kind of had a crappy birthday because of work today. But what made me feel better was watching you and Solo hysterically laughing over my stupid Uso motorboat joke. It made my day. Thank you guys for that. Happy birthday, brother. My birthday's coming up. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. Probably just a small dinner with a group of people. Some cocktails in the city if it's not fucking 5 degrees outside. Appreciate you, MGM Ball, and thank you for being here, brother. Caden with a $1.99. No message. Thank you, Caden. Michelle with a 2. They seem to tease Cody Orton. Will they ever do it? I don't know when we're getting Cody and Orton. I have no idea. No idea. Tay-Tay with a $10 super chat. JD, today's my 22nd birthday. I thought SmackDown was a bore. I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble tomorrow. My picks are Roman Reigns for the men and Bianca Belair for the women. Solid choices, bro. Solid choices. And happy 22nd birthday, Tay-Tay. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you very, very much. You're here every night, and I wish you nothing but the best this year. Tony Brown with the $9.99. JD, I want to dive headfirst between Liv, Roxanne, Alexa, and Stephanie's sweet thighs. Well, Tony, listen, man. You know that's a lot to ask for, bro. I mean, we can't be greedy. Don't be greedy, bro. Sharing is caring. Love Tony Brown. Thank you, brother. Chicago for MBK with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, for the first time in many years, I just want the Royal Rumble weekend to be over and WrestleMania storylines to begin. WWE in Saudi is no good. Bro, this entire tour has been fucking lifeless. Every time WWE does these overseas tours, bro, it just gives off a vibe of like, eh. I'm very much looking forward to them being back in the States and going into WrestleMania. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. The last segment was lame. It felt like a rehearsal for what tomorrow would look like. Like, it's a gimmick segment. It was cringe to me. I agree. I absolutely agree. Michael Krause with a 2. Me and OTS will always be here, bro. 100%. Thank you, Michael. Hardy Punk with a $2 super chat. 30 entrants in, stage glitch, countdown 31. Out comes Y2J. Nah. Have him come out at number 10 and then do the Jericho countdown at number 10. True Crime Unleashed with a 5. Bruce Pritchard made the comment in Unreal Season 2, in his eyes, Chelsea Green is just enhancement talent to get the other ladies over. Well, you get what you ask for. You make her an enhancement talent and you water down her offense, she's going to feel like an enhancement talent. That's why she feels the way she does on television, though we know Chelsea's a lot better than what we're getting. Tay-Tay with a $4.99. Who would you fire in WWE Creative right now? I'd fire Road Dogg, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes. I would fire Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard. Get him out. JD Ambrose with a 2. Talent buying their gear is likely a tax write-off. More than likely. More than likely. Hollywood guy with a 5. Do you see Fatu interfering in the Drew Sami Zayn match? I think he might, causing Sami to win. No. No. Though it is a possibility, I don't see it. I don't think Sami's winning. Mid-range with a $2.99. Chris Jericho for the GM of NXT. Nah. Yeah, Ava Rain is no more on NXT. She is leaving WWE for whatever reason. I have no fucking clue. They might make Robert Stone the new GM, being that he was kind of doing that down there anyway. He was like an advisor or like a right-hand goon. Bogdan with a $9.99. JD, do you think Evil will sign with WWE? I do. Tony Khan don't like Evil, so he's not going to sign Evil. If he wants to wrestle in America, he's coming to WWE. It's his only choice. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. If Jay did win, what would your reaction be, JD? I don't know, man. I might not have a voice tomorrow. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. Since Roman now cares for the youth, I need him to clock into work and lay down for Oba and Braun on the big stages so we can make new stars. But why should Roman have to do that all on his own? Why can't WWE begin the process? Why can't they begin the process? They haven't done anything since Roman dropped the title. That's not Roman's fault. Roman doesn't write the stories. Triple M. $2 super chat. Enjoy the Rumble, OTS fam. JD, my goat, locked in. Always locked in, bro. Always. Scumdog with a $10 super chat. No message. Thank you, Scumdog. NM94 with a $5 super chat. JD, it's going to be 85 degrees in Orange County, California tomorrow. Heading to the beach after the Rumble tomorrow. I'll have a toll boy in your honor. Bro, Orange County sounds fantastic. Take me along with you. I'm sure I'd have a fantastic time in Orange County, California. Especially with that weather. The weather's just a bonus. Fade upgraded with a 100 in Mexican pesos. Going to a year watching your show, and I have learned to see wrestling in a whole different way. Have watched wrestling since 1985. I'll miss AJ when he really retires. Fade upgraded. I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot to me. I only want to express from a fan's point of view how we're all feeling. And a lot of fans feel the same way that I do. I'd never bullshit you. Sometimes I can over-embellish. Sometimes I could get a little animated. But everything that you hear on this show, if we were out drinking at the bar, I'd probably tell you the same thing. Nothing is hidden here. Only honesty. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. The Miz should be a manager at this point. It's perfect for him. I'd even take him as a heel on commentary. Just get him the hell off my TV. No, I don't want Miz on commentary. I think he would be a great manager. I really do. The Miz is a great promo. And I think he'd be a great manager for somebody. Joey Clemenza with a 49 months. JD, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan. What do you think of their collab with Miles Kennedy? Anyways, great review. OTS for life. Nah. You know, I love Miles to death. I listen to anything he would put his voice to. But I have not given the Guns N' Roses collab or a slash collaboration much time. I much prefer Miles solo stuff. I'd have to go and listen to it. I would absolutely go see them live, though. CEO Jordan with the $2 super chat. Can't blame Ciampa for leaving this circus act. No, I don't blame Ciampa. I just hope Tony Khan knows what he's doing with Ciampa because he's got a fucking winner in Tommaso Ciampa. He's got a former world champion in Tommaso Ciampa. And my guy Illuminati with a $5 super chat. The only way Cody gets his third is if he wins in a scummy way. Nut shot. Refs don't see him get eliminated. That would mean he turns heel, bro. I would absolutely take that. If they want to go that way for a third time, I would absolutely take a heel Cody Rhodes. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Just a little bit over 2 hours. Show isn't worth any more of my time, bro. Honestly. Thank you guys for a great stream. I will be live tweeting all afternoon for the Royal Rumble. So join me tomorrow. On social media, at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you go follow me. And stay up to date. Also on iTunes and Spotify. Leave a rating. Leave a comment. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all other major audio platforms. Number 23 as of today, man. I'd love to get into the top 20. Let's do it. Go check out all the content on the channel. Some great content. We were live for Raw. Tuesday Night Titans with the Monster. Wednesdays, Dynamite with Jesse. Tonight and tomorrow we'll be live after the Rumble. Expecting a big audience. So let's do it big, man. The first PLE stream of the year. Let's do it big. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of tonight's go-home show. And let me know how you're feeling about the Royal Rumble. Give me some predictions down below in the comment section. Until then, guys, tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m., the Royal Rumble. And I'll be live right here with the Rumble post show on Off the Scripts. I'll see you guys later.